So let's find a comfortable seat. Adding a cushion or blanket underneath your hips if that feels supportive for you to support sitting up taller and less strain on the low back and hamstrings. And we'll begin by rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And we'll bring the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. And bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing softly downward. Extend your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning, this day of remembrance. Taking a moment to root yourself down into this day and this moment. Checking in with yourself, noticing what it is you need right now. Breathing up energy from the earth, drawing it into your heart. And as you exhale, releasing anything that is not yours or that you no longer need to carry, allowing it to return to the earth. Allowing each breath to become a little deeper. And release a little more. With your next inhaling breath, expanding the belly. And as you exhale, contracting the belly toward the back. Following your body's rhythm, expanding and contracting. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the side. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale, completely releasing the breath with each exhale, filling up your spirit, your aura, with whatever you need with each inhale. And continuing to release with each exhale anything that is no longer yours or no longer serves you. Take one more full, complete breath. And when you've come to the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness to your right hand, allow the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together and bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you notice the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathing it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all of who you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. If you'd like to switch your legs or change positions, please go ahead and do that. And with your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch our shoulders up by our ears. And as we exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. We'll bring the hands in front of the heart, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulders back and down, lifting the heart, gently strengthening the muscles around the scapula. Let's bring the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart a little more, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension, wringing out any weight we're carrying on the back of our heart, or even any walls we've created there. Softening it and gently letting it go. Opening our arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart a little higher if that feels okay. Drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. Breathing into the heart. Opening the arms wide. If it feels okay, you could flex the wrists, pressing through the palms. Let's bring our arms in front, crossing the right over the left. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeeze the arms together. You can also bring the hands to the shoulders if that feels better for your body. Pressing the elbows away as we breathe into the upper back. If it feels okay, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows. And with your next inhaling breath, lifting the elbows up a little higher, gently arching if that feels okay. And as you exhale, gently round, letting the weight of the arms open the back. And with the next inhale, come back to center. We'll gently unwrap the arms, opening wide, pressing through the palms. And then bringing the arms in front, this time left over the right. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back, right hand around the left wrist or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Notice the chin here. If it's jutting out, gently pull it back toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. Breathe into the upper back, gently pressing the elbows away. And when you're ready, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows if that feels okay. Extending that stretch around the shoulders. And if it feels okay with your next inhaling breath, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round. Dropping the chin, rounding the spine. Breathing into the upper back. And with the next inhale, coming back to the center. And we'll unwrap the arms, extending them out to the sides. Make some circles with the wrists. And reverse. Then let's bring the hands at the heart, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, drop the chin. With your inhale, lift the palms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin toward the chest, softening the elbows, rolling the upper corners of the shoulders toward each other, wringing out any tension, noticing the jaw, allowing it to soften, releasing the back of the neck a little more if that feels okay. And again, if it feels all right for your body, pressing the palms a little higher. With your next inhaling breath, lift the chin. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the right, floating the hands down, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, gently twist through the ribs. Head comes around left. Lifting and twisting with the breath. As we twist, we often reflect on the past, things we want to let go of. And if it feels okay for your neck, holding the twist with your spine, with your next inhale, you can bring your chin over your left shoulder, perhaps peeking gently into the future. And back to the right. With your next inhale, sweep the right arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Right hip drops toward the mat, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. Breathing into the side of the body, creating space. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. And take a breath in and out. We'll interlace the fingers, inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, gently twisting to the left, floating the hands down, right hand to the knee, left hand behind the hip. Lifting the heart with the inhale, gently twisting through the ribs with the exhale, head comes around last. Hold and breathe. Finding that edge between flexibility and inflexibility. Wringing out anything you'd like to let go of. And again, if it feels okay for your neck, you can turn the chin over the right shoulder briefly. Again, looking toward the future, staying in the present moment. And then to the left again. As you come to your next inhale, sweeping the left arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reaching across the body, dropping the left hip, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. Breathing into the side of the body, creating space and room within your body, within your spirit. And with your next inhaling breath, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. And let's extend our legs out in front of us, bringing our feet down toward the end of the mat. And let's go ahead and take hold of our straps here. Wrapping the strap around the arches of the feet. You can wrap the strap around your hands as well if you would like. Think about reaching the heels out in front of you, lifting the spine tall. And I notice my shoulders kind of roll forward when I'm holding the strap, so maybe loosening a little if that's happening to you and rolling your shoulders back and down. Rooting into your sitting bones, gently tilting the pelvis forward here just to lift the spine up a little taller, softening the back of the knees. And then begin, as it feels good to you, to pull against that strap and push the feet away, lifting the spine tall, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, creating that traction of lengthening out through the back of the legs, reaching tall through the spine, engaging the arm muscles as we pull. And then think about drawing the belly toward the back. Lengthen a little taller with your next inhale. And then let's soften the legs, soften the arms, keep the spine long, and gently begin to tilt forward just as far as feels okay. You can walk the hands a little closer toward the feet on the strap if that feels okay. Reaching the hips behind us, lengthening the spine out over the legs. Not worrying about how close the body is getting to the legs, but really focusing on the lengthening through the spine, through the back of the legs. Noticing the small places where you can let go, where you might be holding on. Little places in the hips, in the hamstrings, in the low back. Breathing into them, gently releasing. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. Go ahead and release the strap. We're going to bring our hands behind the hips, fingertips facing the hips. You can work with inclined plane or reverse table. For inclined plane, feet together, lifting the hips high. For reverse table, bending the knees, placing the feet hip width apart, and again, lifting the hips high. So whatever feels right for you today. Bending those elbows, rolling the shoulders back toward each other. With your next inhaling breath, we'll lift the hips high, keeping the elbows soft and the head extended out from the spine. As you come to your exhale, gently lower down and hover if that feels okay, working on strengthening those triceps in the back of the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, or rest depending on how your body's feeling today. Elbows are soft, hips are pressed high. And then gently lower the rest of the way down, shaking out the wrists. Coming to the center of the mat. We'll gently round the spine, drop the chin, and roll onto our backs. Extending the legs out, shoulders tuck under. Gently scan up your body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee, gently drawing it in toward the chest. And then exhale, extending the leg out. Inhale, draw the knee in. Exhale, extend it out. This time, draw the knee in and we'll hold here. Softening around the hip, lengthening through the spine, tucking the shoulders under. Keeping the left hand on the knee, allow the right arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down or bending at the elbow, depending on your space. And as you exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body. Right hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Release the muscles around the hip. Ease the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center, extending the leg up toward the sky. Take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. And begin to make slow, gentle circles with the ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. And reaching through the heel, let's drop the sitting bones down toward the floor, arching the low back slightly. Releasing the hamstrings. And with your next exhale, tuck the pelvis, draw the belly muscles down, and begin to draw the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Continuing to reach through the heel, keeping that leg active. You can stay here, or if it feels okay with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. If you'd like a little more challenge, you can flex the left foot, lifting it gently off the floor. Belly muscles are strong, reaching through the heels. And you can stay here or release the hands. If you need a hand behind your head to support the neck, please go ahead and add that. And with your next exhale, lower the leg and the left leg and lower the head and chest. Taking a breath in, we'll gently exhale and lower the right leg. Take a moment and a breath to notice how the right and the left feel the same or different. Noticing if your shoulders are pulled up and gently letting them drop back to the mat. And we'll inhale, bending the left leg, drawing it in toward the chest. Exhale, extending it out. Inhale, drawing it in. Exhale, extending it out. Once more, drawing it in. We'll hold and breathe here, softening around the hip, lengthening through the neck, tucking the shoulders under. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down or bending at the elbow. And as you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Left hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward your left arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Release the muscles around the hip, easing the spine into the twist. And with your next inhaling breath, come back to center, extending the leg up toward the sky, taking hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, point the toes toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Then begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel, we'll gently drop the sitting bone down toward the mat, arching the low back, taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, tuck the pelvis, drawing the leg toward the torso, just as far as feels okay. Continuing to reach through the heel. As you come to your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Belly muscles are strong. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Engaging the belly muscles. Neck is nice and long as you reach through the heel. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, flexing the right foot, lifting it gently off of the mat. And you can stay here or release the hands. And again, if you need a hand behind the head to support the neck, please add that. Gently lowering the right leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the left leg. Again, take another deep breath in and out. Checking in with your body. We'll bend the knees, placing the feet on the floor. Arms alongside the body, shoulders tucked back and down. Working with bridge pose, and we'll use a few different arm positions today to help support opening the upper back. So lifting the toes, spreading them wide, rooting into the mat. Shoulders pressed back and down, creating an other end of our bridge. With your next inhaling breath, scoop the pelvis and gently begin to roll the spine up, one vertebrae at a time. Hips come up high, knees are parallel. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower. Let's bring our arms out with the palms up. Arms at 9 and 3, as it would be on a clock. And with your next inhaling breath, scoop the pelvis, rolling the spine up. Vision stays toward the sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, lower. Now we'll bring the arms over the head at the 12 o'clock position. And with your next inhale, scoop and lift. Roll the spine up. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently lower. We'll float our hands down alongside the body again. Inhale, scoop and lift. This time we'll hold and breathe if you would like, or continue coming up and down. You can also roll the shoulders under, interlace the fingers, and press the palms together, extending the arms out just as far as feels okay. You could also have a strap in your hands instead of interlacing the fingers if that feels more accessible. Pressing the hips high, lengthening through the neck, rooting into the feet, noticing what's happening with the knees and gently drawing them in line with your hips. And obviously we can't see them from this position, so you want to use those proprioceptive skills and tune into how your body is feeling and where it is in space. Breathing into the heart. And with your gently releasing the arms, we'll roll the shoulders out. And with your next exhale, slowly roll the spine down. And take a deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And let the breath go. Let's bring the knees over the torso, hugging them into Apanasana. Breathing into the low belly. From here, you can roll to your side, pressing up with your hands, or slip the hands behind the knees, kicking the feet over the head, gently rolling up. Now let's come forward onto our hands and knees, and we'll bring the blocks on either side of the mat so they're accessible. Also, if you would like a blanket under your knees for a little extra padding, you can add that. So we'll just start with our hands on the mat, or if you would prefer to have your hands on the blocks, you are welcome to do that too. Sometimes if our wrists are bothering us, having the blocks can be more supportive. You can also let the hands hang over the fingers hang over the edges just to give a little release to the wrist. So using those for support in whatever way works for you today. Softening the elbows, head extends out from the spine, tucking the shoulders down the back. Belly muscles draw up toward the back. Take a deep breath in and out. With your next inhale, gently lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Continue following your breath. And with your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. Extending the spine out, softening those elbows. Bringing your awareness to your right leg. Let's lift the knee out to the side and then wrap the knee around to the back and draw it back down to the mat. Inhale, lifting to the side. Exhale, around and to the mat. Once more, lift to the side, around, and to the mat. Switching to the left leg, lift it out to the side, bring the knee around to the back, and down to the mat. Keeping those elbows soft, inhale, left knee to the side, exhale, around, and down. Once more, lift out to the side, around, and down. Coming back to the right leg, let's reach it out behind us, lifting the heart. Exhale, rounding the spine, drawing the knee in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. So lower that right knee down. Take a breath in and out. Soften the elbows. And with your next inhale, we'll reach the left leg out, lifting the heart. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Lowering the knee down. Let's bring the blocks in front of us. You can have them on their narrow edge or on their wider edge, whatever feels good for you. And we'll tuck the toes under, press the hips up and back into downward dog. If you prefer not to use the blocks, that's fine too. It just can give us a little more space, and you just a different way to practice the pose, feeling some different areas in the body. Softening the knees, reaching back through the hips, floating the heels down. Lengthen through the spine, hips reach high. Lengthening the back of the body. With your next inhale, let's bring the shoulders over the wrists, coming into a supported plank, drawing the belly muscles up, and you can bring the knees down if that feels more accessible in the moment. Really thinking about drawing your belly muscles toward the back, knitting the ribs in, feeling that strength through the entire core, whether your knees are down or up. Then going ahead and bringing the knees down if they aren't already, we'll shift into a side plank. So you could stay on the block, or again, if you prefer to be on the mat with your hand, feel free. We'll shift our weight to the right hand. You can also come onto your forearm. Extend the left leg out and reach the left arm up toward the sky. So if you're on forearm, it would be here. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, you could extend that right leg toward the left. Tucking the shoulder blades, lengthening through the spine. Lifting up through the right side body. Let's bring that right knee down. Float the left hand down. Come back to the center. Take a breath in and out. Tuning into our left wrist, noticing what it can do today, whether we want to be on our wrist or our hand or our forearm. Shifting onto that left side, reaching the right leg out and the right arm up. Tucking the shoulders, lifting the heart. Again, staying here, or if it feels okay, rooting into that right foot as you reach the left foot out toward the right. Lifting up through the left side body. We'll bring that left knee down, float the right hand down. And then let's step forward with our right foot. You can bring the blocks up again to whatever height feels better for you now, just having something to support you. Walking the right foot out a little further so that we can drop down into the lunge. Having the blocks here can help it be more accessible where we're less worried about reaching the floor and just can focus a little more on our hips. Pressing back through the right hip, forward through the left, lift the heart. Shoulders are back and down. Think about energetically drawing that right heel toward the left knee, feeling the inner quads engage, strengthening those muscles in this isometric hold of the muscles. One more breath. With your exhale, release that, and we'll soften through the front of the left hip, keeping the right hip gently pressed back, but releasing the left hip down. Pressing into the right foot. If it feels okay, you could sweep the arms up toward the sky. You can hold here. You could bring the elbows out to cactus or bring the hands to the heart. Right hip is pressing back, left hip is softening down the front. Floating the hands down to the blocks or floor, we'll rock that right leg back, lengthening through the spine. And if it feels okay, lifting the toes of that right foot, lengthening the spine down into the calf. Pressing back through the right hip. Let's bring that right leg back to the kneeling position and we'll step forward with the left foot. And walking the foot far enough forward so that when we drop down into the lunge, the left knee is stacked over the ankle, not going past the toes. Using the blocks to support you as you need and want today. Pressing that left hip back, right hip forward gently. And then energetically drawing the left heel and the right knee toward each other. Feeling those inner groin muscles engage. And then release, softening down the front of that right hip while keeping the left hip gently pressing backwards. Rooting into that front foot, you can keep the hands here on the blocks, or with your inhale, sweep the arms up over the head. You can bring the elbows out to cactus or hands to the heart, whatever feels right for your body today. keeping the legs strong and active as we root into that left foot. Left hip presses back and soften through the front of the right hip. We'll float the hands back to the blocks or mat. Rock the left hip back, lengthen through the spine. And lifting the toes if that feels okay. And we'll bring that left knee back. Well, let's work with camel pose. So if you'd like to use the blocks, you can have those by the ankles. And again, they can be at whatever height you would like. And you can use them or not use them. It's up to you. You can have them the medium or low height or the high height. Whatever feels right for you today. Rooting into the knees, lifting through the heart, shoulders back and down. Let's start with placing our hands on our low back with the fingertips pointing down. As we root into the knees, take a deep breath in, lifting the heart up and back. And lifting up tall. I think I mixed up my breath there. Sorry. You were supposed to, did I? No, I did it right. Inhale as we go back and exhale coming up. It feels a little, it almost feels backwards on the camel, but we want to open with our inhale. So let's try it again when I'm not confused. Rooting into the knees. Inhale, lifting up and back. Exhale, lifting up tall. If it feels okay, you could bring hands this time back to the blocks. And exhale up tall. You could also reach one hand back, lifting the other hand up. It can be onto the heel or onto the block. And then lifting up and switching. And you can use any of those variations, or if it feels okay, you can come all the way into camel, again, either using the blocks or placing the hands on the heels with the toes tucked under or not. Pressing the hips forward, opening the heart. Really allowing ourselves to feel open and vulnerable in this moment, in this posture, with also acknowledging the strength that it takes to hold it. Listening to your body when you're ready, gently come forward and we'll stop at our hands and knees and table and just do some little baby cat-cows with the low back. It's pretty intense on the low back, holding camel. Loosening that up a little. And then we'll lower into child's pose if that feels okay for your knees. You can also tuck a block on your shins, that's not your shins, your calves, as a way to access child's pose without really deepening the knees too much, being able to round the spine. So if that feels better for your knees to have that block there or blanket there, or even a bolster, you can add that. And you can also move into reclined puppy if this doesn't feel good either. So either the supported child's pose, full child's pose, or reclined puppy. Release the weight of the body to the earth. Breathe into the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Bringing the hands under the shoulders, we'll roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last, shoulders up and back and down. Tucking the toes under, stretching the bottom of the feet. You can sit back on the heels if that feels okay. You can also come forward and gently rock, stretching those, or do it from a kneeling position. Again, listening to your body. Breathing into the bottom of the feet. I notice as I'm out and about in the world a lot more these days with shoes on, that the bottom of my feet are tighter than when I was home barefoot. And let's bring the hands to the mat and lift the hips up into Uttanasana. Again, using a block underneath the hands, whatever side feels right for you, if that feels more feels better for your body today. Feet are hip width apart, softening the knees, reaching back through the hips, lengthen out through the spine. Come into half lift. You could bring the hands onto a block or the shins or knees. Rooting into the feet, lengthening through the spine, opening the sitting bones. Gently pull the chin toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. And then as it feels okay, lower the ribs toward the thighs, letting the head drop down just as far as feels okay for you. Bending the knees as much as you need to allow that ease in the low back and hamstrings. And then gently lengthening and lifting the sitting bones toward the sky as it feels accessible in this moment. We'll inhale, lifting halfway, bending the knees. Let's take a block and gently put that between our knees. And we'll lift the torso coming into chair pose. So keeping the knees bent, pressing back through the hips, and using that block to help keep our knees in alignment and engage the inner quads. Can stay here with the hands at the heart or bring the hands out to cactus, drawing those shoulder blades down, lifting the heart. If it feels okay for your shoulders and it feels like what you want to do today, you can also bring the arms up over or by the ears, extended out over the head. So find that arm position that feels right for you. And then notice where you might be holding on in the jaw or the neck or shoulders and soften those. I'm going to come back to cactus because I notice when I have my arms over my head, I'm doing a little more clenching. And when I'm in cactus, I can open those a little bit more and soften. Let's take one more breath. And with the exhale, fold over. Remove the block. Lengthen through the spine. You can have the block under your hands if you would like. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. And exhale, hands to the heart. And we'll clear some of the stuff on our mat. And let's work with tree pose today. If you would like to use the wall for support, go ahead and have your back to the wall. Rooting into the earth through our feet, spine lifts up tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees are soft. Let's lift our toes and spread them wide As we lower them down, envisioning roots growing down through the floor of our homes, rooting into the center of the earth, grounding us. Again, as we did earlier, drawing up energy from the earth, this time through our legs and hips and our heart, all the way up through the crown chakra and extending up toward the sun. So feeling that energetic line from the center of the earth to the sun. And with that breath, moving the energy in and out, cleansing your own spirit, your own body, drawing in the energy you need, the strength, courage, patience, whatever it is, allowing it to fill you up, whether you're drawing that from the earth or from the sun or both. Keeping that strong energetic line, we'll shift into our tree pose, envisioning the small forest that we will create together. We'll shift our weight to the left leg, keeping that knee slightly bent. Find a focus spot for your gaze. Turning the right knee out to the side, can rest the heel against the leg, bring the foot to the calf, or bring the foot into the groin, whatever feels right for you in this moment. Finding your steady place, bring the hands to the heart. Continuing to root through the foot, lift up out of the hip gently. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, you can extend your arms out and up, growing those branches. Listening to your body. And when you're ready, gently bringing the hands to the heart and lowering that leg down. Shaking the left leg out and finding our balance on both feet again. Spine up tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down, and shift the weight to the right leg, rooting through the earth. Turn the left knee out to the side as you find a focus spot for your gaze, resting the heel against the leg, or bringing the foot to the calf, or bringing the foot in toward the groin. When you find your steady place, bring your hands to your heart. Rooting through the foot, lift up out of the right hip gently, keeping the knee slightly bent. Stay here or extend the arms up toward the sky. Rooting through the foot as we lift up through the crown of the head. Feeling the energy of the earth and the sun moving through us. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart, gently lowering the leg down and taking that out. Let's spread our legs nice and wide. And we'll turn the right foot toward the short end of the mat. Left heel will drop back. Hips opening to the front right or left corner of the mat. Let's inhale our arms out at shoulder height, working with Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. We'll exhale, bending that right knee. Like me, you might need to move your toes out a little bit so your knee is stacked over your ankle. Rooting into the feet, lifting up through the heart. Vision over the right hand if that feels okay. Extending out through the fingertips. Finding your strong, peaceful warrior. Tuning in to what that means to you in this moment. What is it that you are a warrior for? Who are you a warrior for? Yourself, others, and using this pose as a way to build your inner strength toward those goals. Let's float the left hand down, turn the right palm up, coming into reverse warrior, opening the heart, rooting through the feet. Reaching toward the sky. With your next inhale, straighten the leg. And as you exhale, we'll shift into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Bringing that right arm toward the floor. You can also use a block, as support if that feels better for you. And if it's bothering your shoulder at all to have that left arm up, go ahead and bring that left hand toward the low back. So rooting through the legs, rotate the torso to face the wall in front of you as you lengthen through the spine. Soften the hamstrings of the right leg. And with your next inhale, pressing into the feet, lifting up tall. And exhale, floating the hands down. You want to use a block, place that on the other side. And let's switch our legs. Left foot toward the short end of the mat, right heel dropping back. Hips open to the front right corner of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, bending that left knee and stacking the knee over the ankle. Heart is lifted, shoulders are soft, vision over the left hand. Rooting actively into the feet, legs are nice and strong, engaging the quadriceps in both legs. Drawing up from the earth, again, whatever you need in this moment. Whatever you need to shore up your spirit and energy, to bring you strength. And you breathe that up through the legs into the heart. Allow it to completely fill your cup to overflowing. Remembering that what's in the cup is ours to nourish and sustain us. And all that overflows can go out into the world. Let's float the right hand to the leg, turn the left palm up, lifting that left arm up toward the sky, reverse warrior. Rooting through the feet, lengthening through the arm. Throat and heart are open. And with your next inhale, straighten the leg. And as you exhale, shift into Trikonasana triangle pose. Again, using a block for support if that feels like what you need today. Also bringing that right arm to the low back if that feels better for your shoulder. Rooting into both legs, lengthening through the hamstrings of the left leg, rotating the torso to face the wall in front of you. And if your arm is extended, letting it just float up out of the shoulder. With your next inhaling breath, lifting up tall. And as you exhale, float the hands down. We'll bring both feet to face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms up over our heads and swan dive, hips out behind us, arms extended out. And then floating the hands down onto the floor or onto a block. Sometimes our knees want to lock there, so soften the knees, press into the feet, and lift up through the sitting bones. Spine is nice and long. Rooting through those feet, feeling that connection to the earth as the sitting bones lift up. If it feels okay for your back and neck, you can lower the head and chest toward the mat, lengthening through the low back. You might even take a block and just rest your head there if that feels good. Letting the legs be active and softening and supporting the neck with that block underneath it. Then let's gently lift the head and we'll walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. Dropping the hips into Malasana squat. You can do a high squat, working on strengthening through those hips. You could place a block behind the heels in the center for support as you come down. Or you can come all the way to the mat, dropping the hips down or walking the feet out a little further, pressing the elbows or upper arms into the thighs or knees. Lengthening the spine as we root through the tailbone, lengthen through the crown, and let the shoulder blades be tucked down our back. And then we'll gently lower the rest of the way down. And as we meet, we'll bring that left leg in and the right leg out. We'll grab that strap one more time, taking hold of the strap around the arch of the right foot, lengthening the spine tall, pressing away through the heel, noticing where you can soften and let go. Stay here, or if it feels okay, begin to extend out over the leg. Chin tucks toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck, softening through the back of the leg. With the next inhale, lift up tall. We'll switch our legs. Again, adding that strap around the arch of the left leg, this time right foot in toward the groin. Torso facing the left leg. Lengthen up the spine, reach through the heel, gently pulling on the strap, creating that traction, allowing for a little more length and a little more space. Stay here, or if it feels okay, begin tilting the pelvis forward, lengthening out over the leg, stopping when you feel any tightness or tension, softening around it, noticing where you can let go. And with your next inhale, lifting up tall. We'll remove the strap and come back to cross-legged position. Extending the spine up tall. With your next exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Right shoulder tucks back and down, breathing into the left side of the neck. And with your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, dropping the left ear over the left side, left shoulder. Tuck the left shoulder back and down, breathing into the right side of the neck. And with your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn the chin over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale the chin over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. And let the breath go. Let's bend our knees in front of us, coming to the center of the mat. If you'd like a block for Viparita Karani, the legs up the wall, you can bring that so it's accessible for you. Rounding the spine, roll the spine back onto the mat. Extending the legs up toward the sky. You can rock your hands or a block underneath the hips. Arms alongside the body if your hands are not underneath your hips. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the belly. We'll bend our knees, rock the hands or block out from underneath, back. Bringing the knees over the torso, gently rocking from side to side or bringing the knees in and out, making small circles with the low back. And reversing the circles. And then one last twist, arms out to the side, palms facing down. We'll drop the knees to the right, vision to the left, softening through the spine. And with your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, dropping the knees to the left, vision to the right, softening through the spine, taking a breath here. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. Lower the feet down. You can either walk the feet to the edges of the mat, resting the knees together, or extend the legs out into Shavasana. And feel free to add a bolster or block or blanket underneath your knees. And you can also cover up gently with a blanket to keep the warmth in your body. Allow your legs to be about hip width apart, or your feet to be about hip width apart, unless your knees are bent together. Shoulders are tucked back and down. Relax the forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allow each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. If you would like to receive Reiki during this Shavasana, please just open yourself to receiving it. If not, allow it to gently return to the earth. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently roll to your side and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, and for ourselves. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today.